We about to enter the boxing clinic. It's your boy CJ Goodfella. We in the building talking about the Charlo brothers. Now, a lot of people don't like the Charlo brothers just for the simple fact that they're confident and cocky, you know. And Jermall Charlo, in fact, probably did more damage to their reputation by dogging Julian J. Rock Williams after knocking his ass cold out clean. What most people don't know is Julian J. Rock Williams was talking shit that entire fight, talking about he's ducking him because Charlo took his time taking the fight because he had a medical issue he didn't reveal and got a medical extension that was later learned about the fight with his eyes. He had a LASIK eye surgery and, you know, proved to give him some type of superpowers. So he knocked the fuck out of Julian J. Rock Williams. Now, I was talking about who was the better Charlo on the thread, and a lot of people didn't follow the Charlo brothers on their way up. And me and my boy Smooth Cat over at Colossal Boxing Talk, y'all go follow them on Facebook and YouTube as well. Well, we followed them, and what I do remember was because I took a large liking to him, and I'm gonna break it down. Jermell Charlo, the WBC champion at junior middleweight. The other Jermall is at middleweight now. Jermall gets a lot of fanfare now because he beat, you know, Trout, Williams, and K9. But up to that point, he absolutely did jack shit in his career, and amongst name-wise. Jermell Charlo was always fighting the top opposition. Not saying the top opposition, but the better opposition between the two when they was at junior middleweight. He was the guy that beat Charlie Ota when he was undefeated. He beat Demetrius Hopkins. He beat Gabriel Rosado. He beat Vanes Monterosian, and that's where the issue started. He had a bad fight versus Vanes Monterosian, and Box Nation said, we never want to see this kid again. He's boring. And for some reason, he took their advice and dumped Ronnie Shields, talking about it was over split and Ronnie didn't have enough time for him. He didn't want to train the Plex Gym in Houston. He ended up going to Derek James, and Earl Spence and Derek James, which is the head trainer, Derek James, of Earl Spence, Jermell Charlo, and now Robert Brandt, and probably a couple other ones as well. So, you know, that's where the issue started. And once he had that issue, you know, Jermall Charlo took off with the K9 fight about around the same time. And then he had the little hiccup with John Jackson as well. And a lot of people was questioning, but people have to understand this. There's some reason he wanted to change his style. But if you're talking boxing attributes, Jermell Charlo feet, defense, and boxing ability is way better than Jermall boxing ability, in my opinion. When he was with Ronnie Shields, he was more of the Erzlandi Lara type. But he was more offensive than Lara. He was balanced. He had better footwork. He could bounce around, slip. He had good defense. He was a real school boxer, real-rounded boxer. For whatever reason, after the Vanes fight, he panicked because he wasn't seen as the offensive powerhouse that he wanted to be seen in, and that's where Derek James came in. So when he fought John Jackson, he was in an identity crisis and probably still is. For the simple fact is, by nature, he's a boxer mover. He's a very skillful fighter. I'm saying he's more skillful than Jermall. But now he's trying to find that balance where he'd become a better defensive fighter. He's the dude that fought the hard guys coming up. And I remember talking to Smooth Cat over Colossal Boxing Talk. We were saying, like, man, how the fuck did Jermall Charlo get the one with the title belt now? Well, at middleweight now. How did he get a title shot before Jermell? Because Jermell was doing better work. But, you know, Jermall knocked out K9, beat Trout, and beat J-Rock, and his legend took off. And he's improved as well, as he was the more offensive fighter, but he never looked as comfortable and balanced as his brother did, Jermell, you know, with his offense. But he's found his own niche now as well. He's found to be defensive-minded a little bit. The way he slipped, you know, and caught and returned fire and knocked down J-Rod, he's becoming more skillful now, too. He's more of an offensive powerhouse. And that's why I think most people take a liking to him, and now he's on the rise and looking clean. But as far as the whole attribute and skillful competition, it's Jermell Charlo, especially if you really look at his early body of work, what he's capable of. A lot of people don't know if Jermall Charlo has the feet of Jermell Charlo, the one that's a middleweight. He's more of a plotter. He's very offensive. He plants. He believes a lot in his power, but he's starting to become a well-rounded boxer as well. But I still prefer Jermell, and I'm going to tell you why. For the simple fact is, once he gets, you know, that camaraderie that Earl Spence and Derek James has with Derek James, he's going to be a problem because he's going to find that mixture and that balance where that defense that's very good that people don't know about. That balance with his feet and be able to box and counter and get off. And now he adding an offensive fire ability to his game. He's adding knockouts now. He's going to be very dangerous. You know, a lot of people dub Jermall Charlo to beat Triple G. But I think eventually Jermell, if he gets his crack at Triple G, he'll be able to do well as well. And Canelo Alvarez and Danny Jacobs. So it's a close competition. We're just talking cooler talk. We go.